This one is entitled, Every Man Can, because every man can. Every man can, for he must have a plan, and ultimately take a stand to grow and advance to whatever stands, to the stand-up guys that wear the pants. Every man can. Every man can. Every man can grow and develop his land, leading to less grieving. Water your own grass is what I'm saying. That every man can. Every man can. Every man can have a moment of weakness. As human, it is no diss. Remember and know this, that the need to stay on track and focus in a place of society that promotes lack of accountability. And you will see that every man can. Every man can. Every man can establish tactics leading to those who chose and others who oppose being better, and the masculine trendsetter, seeking solitude in an overpopulated land of hatred and things once sacred, has now been about social ratings. Love is lacking, too much comfortability in hating, berating the best of, and little to no self-love. What in the world do you expect of a hater of self with deteriorating health and no understanding of how it works when it comes to true internal wealth? It's not something material, but lies within self of every man can. Every man can. Every man can make himself whole, assumes his role, knowing when to fold and willing to stay on track through all attacks on the road, especially when classified as black, as cold. Mindset is practical, chess-minded and tactical, foreseeing the bigger plan of every man can. Every man can. Every man can stop his and others' nonsense with valued accomplishments and accepts no diminishment, repels all dents, moving in the power that's heaven sent of every man can. Every man can. Every man can embrace his crappiness, improving on them, solidifying happiness. Pound for pound, built for defense. Minister of self, utilizing common sense. That is not so common. You're in the same place I'm in. Reality is for all, no use of stalling. Successful, accepting the calling of every man can. Every man can. Every man can work towards the promised land, remaining cognizant. That is how I've been saying. Because you see, when operating in reality, you can fool he, him, and she, but not the few based in true reality. Can't you see what I'm saying? That every man can? Every man can. Every man can succeed in a foreign land that lies and despises his existence. Of every man can. Every man can. Every man can reach to teach, solidifying weak links, strengthening his armor, growing intelligence, his family farmer. Of every man can. I'm saying every man can. Thank you. Living Double Lives by Akil Bomani. What's the point of marriage when one or more parties do not carry the burden of being better? Morals, integrity are the true trendsetters of better beings, not acting like sex and attention fiends. Rooted, grounded, achieving serene. Mindsets also to project balance of positives and negatives. What it is, subscribing to society too much. It's not a good look to touch. What isn't yours and yours, not much. It makes zero sense to be in relationships, marriages, and still ride the fence. Nasty, sloppy, loving everyone. Wants microwave slaves with no understanding of oven loving. To take your time and let all the good juices combine. As you know, great things come with time, like a peaceful mind. Lovers of lies, deceit will incite cries. Producers of pain are dark inside, for they do not keep it to themselves, spreading hell as they get a rise of false pride. Villainous mindsets, snide to those who do things right. Third-party situations, sow confusion without conclusions. Pollution of genes, existing without any means of common sense and logic, always flip-flopping with that nasty-ass bed-hopping. Sloppy with it, hiding phone digits, speaking cryptic, real love and trust deficient. Waste of time and space, full of bad energy, treated like a receptacle of waste. The only way to be better for longer days is just view a mirror and look at yourself and say, I am worthy and I will no longer worry. To receive blessings abound, I will stop sleeping around with too many people. Reckless sex should be legal.